We are deep in the heart of the 1.4.5 update, and it brought a lot of new blocks and walls for us. Today, we're going to talk about every single one of them, how to get them, and any special features they might have, as well as some use cases. Let's jump into it. Greetings friends, Khaios here. The Bigger and Boulder update is chock full of new goodies for builders. In my previous video, I briefly showed all of the new blocks and walls while I talked about some of the other new items, such as the Tidy Mighty and Portable Kiln. If you missed that video, be sure to go check it out. Today, we'll be taking a deeper look at those new blocks, so if you want to build with them, you'll know exactly how to get them. But before we dive into the new blocks, let's take a look at a few changes to a couple of the older blocks. Pine Tree Block and Lizard Brick both got a sprite update. The art change for Lizard Brick is pretty subtle, but it looks great. The really interesting change is in how it functions. The block from the Jungle Temple can now grow jungle grass and jungle vines from it. Not only does this give you a far more immersive looking jungle temple, but it can be extremely handy for our builds. In the past, when we wanted to make ruined castles or stuff like that with vines growing from it, we had to use dirt or mud and grass. But now, we can just use lizard brick and paint it to blend in. Pine Tree Block also got a big visual overhaul and it looks absolutely amazing. I'm terrified to say it, but I actually like the block now. I still wish it would blend with other types of wood because it still can't, but it does look really good now. And even better, it also has a matching wall. It's going to help with nature builds immensely. Before we look into the new blocks, if you're enjoying these videos and you would like to help the channel grow, be sure to leave a like and comment to tell the algorithm that I'm doing a good job, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the future 1.4.5 videos that I have in the pipeline. I've got a lot of content planned for this update, and I have some even bigger plans for the channels in the future. Thank you all for supporting me with your views and engagement, and for all of the positive messages on the last video. Now, let's get straight into the new blocks. Since there are so many different blocks of different designs, I had to give a lot of thought into how I should organize and present them in this video, and so I decided on grouping them with how you obtain them and organizing those groups in terms of progression from early game to hard mode. First up, purchased blocks. The earliest block that we can obtain here is going to be purchased from the Dye Trader. He sells one of the only pastel blocks in the game. You can pick up Easter block from him for dirt cheap, around only 50 copper apiece. It's one of the earliest materials that you can acquire. As you might expect, it has a pretty typical Easter holiday color scheme with pastel pinks, yellows, and blues. It doesn't have any special features or traits, it's just a fun looking block with a unique pattern. Easter block also has a wall which matches that pattern, and that can be crafted at a workbench using the block. The block also has an adorable furniture set, but I'm not going to show all of it right now, because if I were to cover all of the furniture in this video, I'd be talking for well over an hour, so I'm going to save showcasing furniture for an upcoming video. Be sure to check back later for it. The second block that we can purchase comes from the Pirate. You must have him within a graveyard biome in order to get the material, making it an early hard mode crafting option, unless you were to somehow get a hold of the pirate invasion earlier in your progression. Once in the graveyard, in the pirate's shop, you will find the jellyfish block. This little guy is one of my new favorite blocks in the game. It has a unique gel-looking texture, it glows in the dark, and it is animated. When you place a single block of it, it looks like a little jellyfish, which is fantastic for ocean builds. Even better, if you paint it, the color of the light that it produces will change color to match the paint. It also has a wall, which you can craft using a block at a workbench. The wall also looks like a jellyfish when you place a single one, which adds even more diversity to those underwater builds. And the wall glows and changes color with the glow when painted as well, but it is a much fainter light. The interesting thing about this wall is it works in the opposite way than the block. What I mean by that is when you place a lot of blocks, it looks like the body of the jellyfish is getting bigger. But if you place a bunch of walls, the body stays small and the tentacles get longer. It makes a pretty hypnotizing pattern. Jellyfish block also has a furniture set. The third and final purchased block is found at the Cyborg, which means you can get it after defeating Plantera. This is the Toy Breaker block. It looks interesting. I'm not sure how often I'll be building with it, though I can see me using it as a niche accent piece. The more interesting thing about it, however, is its intended purpose. If any toy touches it, it will instantly break. This includes things like the beach ball, the football, also the quad racer drone, and a certain other new toy that I'll cover in a future video. Surprisingly, the Toy Breaker block does not instantly destroy golf balls. I would have thought that golf balls would count as toys in Terraria, but I guess not. It could be pretty interesting for mini golf to have this block break them. Anyway, all in all, this block has a lot of applications for adventure maps and minigames. It does not, however, have a wall or a furniture set. Now, let's talk about crafted blocks and walls. I've separated the new blocks into where we craft them, so starting at the workbench, let's begin with one of the earliest blocks that you will likely encounter. Office block is a modern tile with a sort of resin pattern. It has a very unique texture, which I think will work great as stone when painted white or gray. The block doesn't have any special features, but it does have a very interesting furniture set that brings a lot of modern day decorations to Terraria. Again, I'll be diving further into that furniture in a few days. Office block is crafted with 5 gel and 10 wood, which is why you'll be able to get it so early in your playthrough. It also has a wall which you can craft at the workbench. I've seen several offices in my lifetime that have aquariums in them, so it's kind of fitting that the next block will complement that. This is aquarium block. It's essentially a glass block filled with animated water and some coral at the bottom. The furniture set for this is also ocean themed. In fact, it's centered around the water chest. You craft aquarium block with glass blocks at a workbench when a water source is nearby. The wall is crafted exactly as you expect it to be, but it looks totally different than the background does. I do like this wall, don't get me wrong, though admittedly, I wish there was also a wall that looked exactly like the block, because having an underwater glass wall that you could see through and get the background behind it would be really nice for underwater builds. Moving on, next up we have Flinks block. Dive into the snow biome at any point in the game and slay yourself some snow flinks. To craft the block, all you need is Flinks fur. This fuzzy block has a new furniture set to go with it and a matching wall. Personally, I'm thinking this block would be great if you're looking to build some custom animals. It might also be good for some custom trees. I also think it makes for a decent, rough, bright stone when you paint it gray, and it would probably also make a great carpet in your builds. Next, pine tree block can now be used to craft a new type of block as well. This is pine wood. It looks like a log beam when you place a single line of it in either direction, and when it's used in mass, it has a very nice modern style diagonal wooden pattern. The background wall also uses that V-shaped diagonal pattern as well. I always love having new wood blocks to work with, so I'm very happy about this, and it has a full furniture set to boot. You can craft pine wood with a single pine tree block, which is obtainable early game. However, you can only get it during the Christmas holiday event. Once you have defeated Skeletron and you've made your way down into the dungeon, be sure to pick up some spikes, because now we can craft a new block out of them. This is spike block, and I absolutely love it. In single rows, it makes nice square bits of rusted metal that look like they're poking towards the camera, but when you place them in groups, they form larger versions of those spikes, which look fantastic. They reminded me a lot of old school video games, and I plan on using these a fair bit. The wall also looks pretty unique in that it doesn't make the usual square shape, it makes it more of a diamond. Spike block also has a furniture set. You can craft the block with 1 spike and 5 stone. The last block that we can craft at a workbench is a hard mode material, as you require a drop from the desert. Forbidden block is a beautiful golden tile with hieroglyphics carved into it. I absolutely love the way this block looks, and I'll definitely have to make a new pyramid design with it in it. The walls are golden with more of the hieroglyphics. You can craft the forbidden block with 1 forbidden fragment and 150 stone, and the block has a set of amazing ancient Egyptian themed furniture. The following blocks will all be crafted at the Sky Mill. First off, we have something that was shown off in the trailer. Harpy block is crafted using feathers that are dropped by harpies. It has a really interesting pattern that looks like large down feathers. However, I also feel like they look a lot like scales, and I could absolutely see them being used to build things that have scales, such as a dragon statue. There is also a matching furniture set that is harpy themed, and the walls carry that feather or almost scale-like pattern to them, but in an even more interesting way, as it doesn't have any hard square lines. These blocks and walls are going to be something that have very interesting case uses. The next 3 blocks are all going to be clouds. First off, this is Star Cloud. You craft it with a fallen star and 10 normal cloud. Star cloud looks like a slightly off-colored cloud during the day, but it isn't until nighttime where this thing gets really interesting. The cloud doesn't glow in the dark per se, but it does shoot star particles out of the top of it, which light up the area. Even better, the stars are released even if the block is echo-coated, so add yet another particle to our repertoire. There are no furniture or wall options for this block. Moving on to the next cloud, we have what is most likely my favorite cloud. This menacing block is Lava Cloud. It rains lava similar to how Rain Cloud produces rain particles, but the best looking part is the lava glow animation that pulses throughout the cloud. Honestly, it's amazing. It's almost like having lava-colored lightning that rolls throughout the cloud. In fact, I would love if the rain cloud got updated to have a similar light animation through it, or if there was maybe a thunder cloud or something. If you're like me and you're not a huge fan of the lava particles that come out of the bottom, simply place some echo-coated blocks on the underside and no more particles. You can craft Lava Cloud with cloud blocks at a sky mill as long as there is a source of lava nearby. The last sky mill block is actually a hard mode option. This is Rainbow Cloud. It's pretty straightforward. A cloud that produces rainbow colors that glow in the dark, and that pattern shifts in color from right to left. The reason it's a hard mode block is because it requires rainbow slimes. You can craft Rainbow Cloud with Rainbow Brick and 10 Cloud at the Sky Mill. The next set of blocks and walls aren't necessarily crafted, as we will be dunking materials into the shimmer to obtain them. First of all is a set of 6 blocks that some of you thought I made a mistake when I included them in my last video. These are dull team blocks. They look exactly like team blocks, just a little darker. Shimmering team blocks you get from the traveling merchant will grant the dull variants. See? Not a mistake. Still, they have no furniture or walls for these blocks. Next up, head to the sky and get yourself some sunplate. Throw it into the shimmer and you'll get the nighttime variant. This is Moonplate block. It is a great contrast to its daytime alternate. It has a wall that complements the sunplate wall, and it has a full set of lunar-themed furniture. Fun fact, if you place a single block of these and paint it with red paint, they kind of look like the drones released by the Destroyer, so it could be pretty fun for some techie builds. Moving on, in the previous update when Shimmer was added, a lot of people asked for shimmer fall blocks and walls to go along with the water, honey, snow, and sand falls that we already have in the game. And they're finally here. Throw waterfall blocks into the shimmer and you will get shimmerfall blocks. You can craft the walls from them at the workbench. These glow similar to how the shimmer does, so it's perfectly rounding off the collection. Now, while the previous blocks could be done at any point in progression, the next two will require you having gotten into the dungeon after defeating Skeletron. Remember those spike blocks that we made earlier in the video? Well, toss them into the shimmer. What do you get? This is Sharp Spike Block. It looks very deadly when placed in single wide lines, but when you group them up, it's even better. The center takes on an awesome rusted grate appearance, which I absolutely love. There is no furniture set for these blocks, which makes sense to me, but unfortunately, Sharp Spike Block does not have a wall, which is a shame because if that central pattern was available as a wall or a fence, it would be so incredibly useful. Maybe for the next update, who knows. Oh, and as the name implies, these spikes will hurt you when you touch them, just like normal spikes will, so be careful. And while you were in the dungeon, I hope you picked up some Gothic furniture, because if you throw any of those pieces of furniture into the shimmer, you will be rewarded with the new Gothic brick. This is a very interesting design that is possibly one of my favorites, but it is a bit on the dark side, so I will probably only ever use it when it's painted white. Regardless, I do love this block. As you saw in the previous video, the Gothic furniture has also been fully expanded to a complete set now. Those were all the blocks that we can get from the shimmer, but quickly I'm going to bring up two more things that we could throw in there as well. As you all know, we can get unsafe walls by throwing safe natural walls into the shimmer. In the past, we were unable to do it for dirt wall and living wood wall, but now we can. Simply throw the safe dirt wall and the safe living wall into the shimmer. That means I think I'm going to be designing a gnome farm just for fun in the coming days. It has been a long video and I appreciate you all for sticking around for as long as you have. There were simply a lot of things to cover, and I think you could see why I chose not to cover these in the previous video and why I'm not diving further into furniture today. Regardless, we are on the home stretch. The following blocks have various different crafting stations, but not enough of them to group them into clean segments like the previous blocks, so I'm just cramming them all into this final section. First up is a long requested block. This is Decorative Cobweb. We can finally add webs to our builds without breaking them every time we accidentally click on our weapon. These will not slow the players down at all. They are purely decorative, though I do think it would be handy to have a non-breakable yet slowing cobweb just for adventure maps. You can craft these at a loom with the cobweb as long as you're in a graveyard biome. Next up is a block that was featured in the 1.4.5 trailer briefly during the AFK farm scene. This is Boulder Block, which is crafted at the Heavy Assembler with a boulder. I mentioned this in the previous video, but the Heavy Assembler is just a renamed Heavy Workbench, if you're confused by that. These fun boulder-themed blocks also have matching walls and furniture. Moving on, if you gather some fallen stars at night, you can make a new block with them at a furnace. 1 fallen star and 25 stone will craft a fallen star block. It actually looks very similar to a forbidden block, but it has different patterns and stars instead of hieroglyphs. The wall is a lot more colorful, carrying the star pattern with splashes of pinks and blues. There is also a full furniture set that looks like it would fit right in with the Empress of Light. Next, we have a brand new natural looking wood. This is Fey wood. It looks similar to living wood with a more rough texture, and it has little red mushrooms dotting around it as well, and those mushrooms cap off the top of the blocks. Those tops also look like they could be used as carpet in the right context. The walls keep the rough wood texture minus the mushrooms. Fey wood also has a furniture set to match. You can craft the block with 1 mushroom and 20 wood at a living loom. After getting into the dungeon, grab yourself some books. When you have 1 book and 20 wood, go to a bookcase and now you can craft a librarian block. These blocks look like rows of books that you would find in a library. The walls do more of the same. They are perfect for decorating interiors. The furniture set also takes that book theme to the next level and is easily my favorite furniture set of the update. I look forward to showcasing it more in an upcoming video. But lastly, we have another hard mode block, which requires you having to defeat at least 1 mech. Hallowed bars can now be used at a furnace with 25 pearlstone to craft hallowed bricks. These blocks fit the armor set theme perfectly, and they are yet another awesome golden colored brick addition to the game. The walls take on the pattern that's found in the center of the blocks, and there is a full set of furniture to complement it. And that's finally it. Every single block and wall added in 1.4.5. In my next video, I'll be covering new features and changes to old objects for builders in the Bigger and Bolder update. So if you're liking these videos and you would like to make sure to catch my future ones, be sure to subscribe and please leave a like and a comment to help support the channel in the algorithm. A special thanks to my biggest supporter for the month, Kasu, and be sure to check out my channel artist MythicalWater linked in the description below. Thank you all very much for watching. Be back soon with a new video. Happy building!